Welcome back to Oxford 4000 Essential English Words, episode 47. I'm your host, Emma.
And I'm Frank. It's great to be back. Emma, you seem to be in a particularly good mood today.
I am. I just finished a fantastic book and it's left me feeling really inspired. It's amazing how words can do that, which is perfect for what we do here.
Absolutely. Speaking of words, what literary journey are we taking our listeners on today? So, what's on the menu for today?
An excellent and very mixed selection, Frank. Today we have loudly successful, tailor, resistant, glimpse, differently, double, incidence, student, and pump.
Wow, that's a diverse list. We've got everything from sounds to success to pumps. This is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how we connect all of these.
That is the challenge and the fun of it. Before we dive into our word by word deep dive, we'd like to remind all our amazing listeners if you find our podcast helpful, please make sure to save, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.
And don't forget to hit that notification bell. It's the best way to make sure you don't miss our next episode. And it really helps us create more polished content for you. Your support means the world to us.
It truly does. All right, are you ready to get started, Frank? Let's begin with our first word loudly. It's an adverb and it simply means in a way that makes a lot of noise. In Chinese, we'd say 大声地.
Loudly. I think of my neighbor's dog. It barks loudly every morning. Is there a difference between loud and loudly?
Great question. Loud is the adjective and loudly is the adverb. So you can have a loud motorcycle, and that motorcycle might drive by loudly. The first describes the motorcycle itself, and the second describes how it moves.
Got it. So I could say, he laughed loudly at the joke because it describes the action of laughing. Or maybe, the music was playing so loudly that we couldn't hear each other speak.
Exactly, you're using it perfectly. Let's move on to our next word, which is something we all aspire to be successful. It's an adjective describing someone who has achieved their aims or desires. The core meaning in Chinese is 成功的.
Successful. Everyone wants to be a successful person. But what does it really mean? Does it always have to be about career or money?
Not at all. That's a common misconception. While we often hear about a successful business person, you can also have a successful marriage, a successful experiment, or a successful attempt at baking a cake. It's about achieving a desired outcome.
That makes a lot of sense. So I could say, after years of hard work, she became a very successful lawyer. But I could also say, the party was successful, everyone had a great time.
Precisely. It's all about the context. Now for our third word, tailor. As a verb, it means to make or adapt something for a particular purpose or person. In Chinese, it's 定制.
Tailor. I know this one, like a tailor who makes suits. But you said it's a verb, so it's not just the person?
Correct. While a tailor is a person who makes clothes, the verb to tailor is about customization. For example, a university might tailor its courses to meet the needs of its students. We can tailor a plan, a speech, or a service.
Oh, that's really useful. So I could say, we should tailor our presentation to the audience's level of expertise. Or maybe the fitness program can be tailored to your individual needs.
Perfect examples. It implies a high degree of personalization. Let's keep going. Our next word is resistant. This is an adjective and it means offering resistance to or opposing something. In Chinese, it's a bit like 有抵抗力的 or 抵制的.
Resistant. It sounds a little stubborn, like he was resistant to the idea of change.
That's one of its main uses for sure. It can describe a person's attitude, but it can also be used in a physical or scientific sense. For instance, some materials are water resistant, or certain bacteria are resistant to antibiotics.
So it has both a psychological and a physical meaning. I could say, my old boots are pretty water resistant. And also, the employees were resistant to the new company policy at first.
You've got it. It's about withstanding or opposing a force, whether that force is an idea or just rain. And that brings us to our next word, glimpse. As a noun, it's a momentary or partial view. In Chinese, it's 一瞥.
A glimpse, it feels quick and incomplete, like you only saw a little bit of something. For example, I caught a glimpse of the celebrity as her car drove by.
Exactly. It's not a long, hard look, it's brief. You can get a glimpse of the future, a glimpse into someone's life, or, like in your example, a glimpse of a person. It can be literal or metaphorical.
So if I'm reading a book summary, I'm getting a glimpse of the story?
That's a wonderful way to put it. You could say, The trailer offers a glimpse into the movie's plot without giving too much away. Or, through the open door, she caught a glimpse of the beautiful garden.
I like that word, it's very visual. All right, we're halfway through. Just a quick reminder to everyone listening, if you're enjoying this deep dive, please save this episode's word list and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can join us for the next 10 words.
Thanks, Frank. Let's jump to our sixth word differently. It's an adverb meaning in a way that is not the same. The Chinese equivalent would be 不同地.
Differently. So, think differently. It seems straightforward. Does it have any tricky uses?
Not particularly tricky, but it's very powerful. It's often used to highlight a contrast in action or perception. For example, she sees the world differently than most people. Or, we approached the problem differently and found a solution. It's all about variety in method or viewpoint.
Okay, so I could say, he was treated differently because of his age, or the two artists interpret the same subject very differently in their paintings.
Both are perfect. It emphasizes that the manner of the action is not the same. Now for a fun one double. This can be an adjective, a determiner, a verb, or a noun, but its core meaning revolves around two of something. In Chinese, it's 两杯的 or 加倍.
Double, like a double cheeseburger, or double trouble.
Exactly. As a verb, it means to become twice as much or as many. The company's profits doubled in 1 year. As an adjective, it means consisting of two equal or similar parts. Please book a double room for me.
So I could say, I had to do a double take, I couldn't believe it was her, Apple. And as a verb, if you add a little yeast, the dough will double in size.
Excellent. You're showing its versatility. Let's move to our next word, incidence. This is a noun, and it refers to the rate or frequency of an event or occurrence, especially something undesirable. In Chinese, it's often translated as 发生率.
Incidence. It sounds a bit formal or scientific. Is it mostly used in contexts like medicine or sociology?
You're right, it is quite common in those fields. For example, you'd talk about the incidence of crime in an area or the incidence of a particular disease. It's about how often something happens within a specific population or time frame.
So, a sentence could be, the study showed a high incidence of vitamin D deficiency in the population, or the government is trying to reduce the incidence of traffic accidents.
Precisely. It's a more formal way of saying how often it happens. Now, a word we are all familiar with, student. A noun, of course, meaning a person who is studying at a school or college. The Chinese is simple, 学生.
Student. Well, we're all students here, right? Learning English. But can it be used for anyone who is learning something, even outside of school?
Absolutely. While its primary meaning refers to formal education, you can be a student of life or a student of history, even if you're just an enthusiast. It implies a commitment to learning. For example, he was a dedicated student of martial arts for many years.
I like that. It broadens the meaning. So I could say, the professor is very popular with her students, and also he is a keen student of human nature.
Exactly. And for our final word of the day, pump. As a verb, it means to force liquid, air, or gas to move in a particular direction. The Chinese is 下送 or 抽.
Pump, like to pump air into a tire, or your heart pumps blood.
Those are the most common uses, yes. It involves creating pressure to move something, but it can also be used more colloquially. For example, you can pump someone for information, which means you try hard to get information from them. Or you might say, let's pump up the volume to mean increase the music's loudness.
Ah, the informal uses are great. So I could say, he was at the gym pumping iron, meaning lifting weights. And also, the government decided to pump more money into the education system.
Perfect examples that cover both literal and figurative meanings. And that's all 10 words for today.
That was a fantastic session. We went from shouting loudly to pumping iron.
We certainly covered a lot of ground. Now, to help all of that sink in, let's see how these words work together in a real life situation. We're going to perform a short dialogue. Imagine a university professor, Emma, talking to a former student, Frank, who is now a successful entrepreneur.
Sounds good. I'm ready.
Frank, I almost didn't recognize you. I only caught a glimpse of you walking past my office.
Professor Emma, it's so good to see you. I'm back on campus for a lecture. It's strange to see things so differently now that I'm not a student anymore.
I heard you started your own company. It sounds like you've been very successful.
We're getting there. The initial growth was slow and we were resistant to changing our model, but then our client base started to double every quarter.
That's incredible. What do you do exactly?
We tailor software solutions for small businesses. We found there's a high incidence of companies struggling with off the shelf products, so we create something that fits them perfectly.
That's a brilliant idea. You must be very proud. I remember you were never one to speak loudly, but your work certainly makes a big statement.
Thank you, Professor. I feel like I have to constantly pump myself up to keep the momentum going.
And scene.
That was great. It really shows how you can weave these words into a natural conversation. We saw a former student who is now successful, how his company had to tailor its approach and was initially resistant, and how his client base began to double.
And we also heard about the high incidence of a problem he solves, how he saw the campus differently, and how he only caught a glimpse of me. And of course, the mention of speaking loudly and having to pump himself up. It all fits.
Now it's time to put our listeners to the test. This is our Chinese to English practice segment. I'm going to say a sentence in Chinese that uses a couple of our words from today. Your job is to translate it into English. Ready?
Let's do it. I'm sure our listeners are up for the challenge.
Okay, here is the first sentence. 那个成功的学生大声地告诉我们，他对那个需要加倍努力的计划有抵触情绪。I'll give you a 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. How did you do? A good answer might be the successful student told us loudly that he was resistant to the plan, which required double the effort.
I like that one. Another great option could be loudly. The successful student expressed that he felt resistant to the plan that would require him to double his efforts. It shows how you can move loudly for emphasis.
Both are excellent. The key is to capture the idea of being successful, speaking loudly, and being resistant to a plan that requires double the work. Okay, Frank, hit us with another one.
You got it. Here's sentence number 2. 我只瞥了一眼，就看到了事故发生率是如何被不同地呈现以迎合不同的学生的。Okay, a little tricky. Countdown starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, what do we have? A possible translation is with just a glimpse, I saw how the incidence of accidents was presented differently to tailor to different students.
Ooh, that's a smooth one. You used tailor there, which is a great fit even though it wasn't explicitly in the Chinese sentence. A more direct translation could be, I only took a glimpse and saw how the incidence of accidents was shown differently to suit different students.
Both work wonderfully. The main point is combining that quick look, the glimpse, with the idea of different presentations of the incidence rate for a student audience. One more?
Last one, let's get our final word in. Here it is. 他必须给轮胎打气，因为他明天要见一个为他定制西装的裁缝. And your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And stop. That one was more straightforward. A good answer would be he has to pump air into the tire because he is meeting a tailor tomorrow who is making a custom suit for him.
Perfect. Or slightly differently, he needs to pump up his tire since he's seeing a tailor tomorrow for a custom-made suit. The core words are pump and tailor. We use tailor here as a noun, which is a great reminder of its double function.
Fantastic work, everyone. We hope those exercises help solidify today's vocabulary. And that's all the time we have for this episode.
It flew by. Before we go, let's give you a little glimpse of what's coming up in our next episode. We'll be tackling textbook, corner, your, radiate, leadership, curve, drink, slender, genuine, and revision.
That's right, another exciting list to expand your vocabulary. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with anyone you know who is learning English. Hitting that notification bell will make sure you're the first to know when our new episode drops.
Every subscription and share helps us so much. Thanks for tuning in and studying with us today. Keep practicing.
Yes, thank you for joining us on Oxford 4000 Essential English Words. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye, everyone.